Welcome back to 3i/Atlas, where we dive deep into the world's strangest stories. This is Tiyanak. Our poor traveler, who we will call Marco, is already lost and exhausted.
He hears a faint, seemingly harmless sound, the unmistakable cry of a distressed baby. That familiar human sound cuts through the silence, driving Marco's instinct to help.
As if that wasn't bad enough, he spots the infant lying completely alone on a gnarled tree root.
As Marco picks up the child, the baby's eyes suddenly open into a hungry, wide stare. The grin stretches impossibly wide as rows of needle-like teeth sprout from its tiny gums. It is now a demonic, blood-sucking creature, lunging straight for the nearest soft spot, Marco's neck. The Tiyanak is often said to be a demon or an unbaptized infant sent to lure people to their deaths.
Nothing says found a baby like finding one that's currently eating someone's intestines.
The Tiyanak's true horror isn't just its fangs, but the terrifying way it hunts its victims.
It uses its sweet, helpless crying to draw in its target, whether that is a traveler or a lonely villager.
Our next victim, a villager named Lola, is walking home alone with her basket of supplies. She knows the folk tales, so she is constantly on edge, clutching her little religious amulet.
Then, from the impenetrable blackness, the weeping begins, loud and impossibly close.
Knowing this is no lost child, Lola tries to pivot and flee, but her fear makes her clumsy.
The Tiyanak doesn't need to be picked up this time. It just leaps from the shadows.
It lets out a sonic scream that is pure focus.
The sound is unbearable. Lola collapses completely immobilized, blood dripping from her ears.
With the target deaf and paralyzed, the Tiyanak descends for the easy, well-deserved meal. Locals say it's their way of keeping children safe. Don't pick up babies in the jungle. Because apparently, nobody taught this thing basic hygiene or bathroom etiquette. Don't click away just yet, because we have a couple more segments left. Hit subscribe now, or you might get a visit from a hungry, unsupervised infant tonight.
Fortunately for humanity, this horrific little monster does have a few weaknesses.
Like most classic creatures, it is repelled by two things: garlic and something a little weirder. Our local hero, an elder named Elias, knows the lore and is prepared to face the threat. The bait is simple. Elias stands in the forest, and the Tiyanak begins its pitiful performance. Tiyanak leaps from the bushes, fully transformed and utterly convinced of a successful ambush. But Elias is faster, quickly throwing the thick leather belt directly over the creature's shoulder.
The effect is immediate. The Tiyanak instantly paralyzes, melting and seizing up in midair.
Its features melt slightly back toward the infant, screaming silently as it hangs in paralysis.
To ensure the job is finished, Elias places a large, potent piece of garlic right by its face.
The traditional weakness of the Tiyanak is not only garlic, but also a simple leather belt.
Now it's wearing its weapon as a strange, uncomfortable shoulder sash, because apparently, fashion is pain.
The Tiyanak, as horrifying as it is only one part of a wider, terrifying family of shapeshifters. We're talking about creatures like the Aswang, the legendary viscera-sucking monster of the night.
Meet Ricardo and Julia, sitting by a cozy campfire, laughing off the old monster stories. They joke about the terrifying baby stories, convinced that their modern minds are immune to ancient myths.
Then, from the inky blackness, a faint, tiny, pitiful baby cry drifts toward their ears.
The comfortable glow of the firelight is no longer safe. It only highlights the terrible presence at the edge. The Tiyanak bursts forward, its monster form in a blurred, terrifying rush of red eyes and bone. The creature's impossibly long, clawed hands stretch and grab both of their screaming, terrified heads. Then, it simply pulls the two screaming heads together in a sickening, grotesque, crushing embrace.
A few moments later, only the crackle of the lonely campfire remains, next to the collapsed figures.
Filipino culture is rich with warnings that reflect these deep, primal, and essential fears.
A chart of the Tiyanak family shows it is, thankfully, the black sheep. Or the black infant, I guess. If you're enjoying this descent into mythical madness, please help us out and smash that like button. If you like this so far, please smash that like button, or I will feed this one your thumb.
The ultimate irony of the Tiyanak is that its existence is completely self-defeating.
It is a master of disguise, appearing as a vulnerable, crying baby to lure people in for a meal.
The problem? Due to the Tiyanak, finding a baby alone is now a major 5-alarm crisis. The Tiyanak's existence has created a survival mechanism. People now avoid every single crying baby. Now, actual lost infants are often left to cry because no one wants to risk the blood-sucking demon. The Tiyanak's best weapon, its cry, is now completely useless because everyone has been trained to ignore it.
Talk about shooting yourself in the foot! They are literally being starved out of the Philippines!
If you want more deep dives into folklore and monsters, like and subscribe to 3i/Atlas.
Or I'll send this miserable baby to your house and let it cry next to your bedroom. The ultimate way to avoid the Tiyanak is to know the warning signs before the attack begins.
First, its weeping is not the loud, breathy cry of a human child, but a sharp, high-pitched whine. Second, the child hunter is always found completely alone, with no parent or guardian nearby.
The Tiyanak will see that belt and instantly realize that its terrifying game is over. The ultimate terror of a baby demon is being hit by a belt, which instantly nullifies its power. The monster instantly reverts to a normal, unbaptized human infant, scared and completely harmless. The Tiyanak is a demon, yes, but one that is vulnerable to accessories and good accessories.
And with that, we're done with the Tiyanak. Would you like to hear about the Manananggal next?